In India, an average family holds about 75 to 80% of all their wealth in the form of real estate. So, buying a house is a very important decision that we all make in our lives. So, is buying a house a good financial investment, or does it make sense to stay on rent? Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Jay, and today we'll learn how to financially evaluate whether we should stay on rent or whether we should buy a house. Whenever we make the decision of purchasing a house, we primarily think with our hearts. Our hearts give us the emotional argument that owning a house will give us a sense of entitlement, it will give us a sense of achievement, and it will also give us stability to my family. But we also need to think about this crucial decision with our brains, and our brains will help us evaluate this entire decision in a financial way. Now, before we make a decision whether we want to buy a house or rent a house, there's a very important term which we need to understand first, and it is called rental yield. Let's look at what is rental yield. Now, in very simple terms, if I have a house and if I put it on rent, the yearly rent that I collect as a percentage of the value of the house is called as rental yield. So basically, rental yield is equal to annual rent divided by property value. Now let's take an example. My friend who stays in Mumbai owns a house worth 1 crore rupees. Now the monthly rent that he gets on this house is somewhere around 16,666 rupees. The yearly rent which he gets is basically 16,666 into 12, which makes it around 2 lakh rupees. So basically the rental yield of his house is 2 lakhs divided by 1 crore. That gives us to 2%. 2% is the rental yield of this house. Now in India, the average rental yield is anywhere between 2 to 3% across all major cities. So basically, if I have a house which is worth 100 rupees, I only earn 2 rupees per year as rent on this house. Now flip this argument. Now if I want to stay in this same house on rent, guess what? I don't have to spend 100 rupees to buy this house. I can stay in this same house by spending 2 rupees per year by staying on rent. Now the beauty here is that I will take about 50 years to have spent as much rent as the cost of this house. 50 years, imagine. Now even if the rental yield is 3%, it will take me about 33 years to basically spend as much amount on rent as I would have spent to purchase this property. Now I'm sure that you would be thinking that chalo jay, argument taken. We also understand that if we stay on rent for 20, 30 or 50 years, we spend about the same amount of money that you would have spent to buy the particular house. But Jay, what we do not understand is that at the end of the time frame of 20, 30 or 40 years, if we purchase the house, we still have the house which would have appreciated in value over all these years. If we are staying on rent, all the money which we are paying on rent is going down the drain. All the money is getting wasted. इससे अच्छा तो EMI भर लेते. That's what parents say, right? Rent भरने से अच्छा तो EMI भर देते. Here's where we have to think financially and we have to do the math. Let's look at the financial benefits of staying on rent. Let's take the example that we took before. Let's assume the property worth is 1 crore rupees. To stay in this property, I can either rent it or buy it. Now, if I plan to buy it, I'm definitely going to take a loan. So to take the loan, there's a down payment and there's an EMI. The down payment is usually 20%. So that means that 20 lakhs lump sum upfront amount I have to pay, and my EMI comes to somewhere around 60,000 per month. This is assuming that the loan is for 20 years at a 7% per annum rate of interest. This is what happens when you buy the house. Now let's see what happens when you rent the same house. Let's assume that the rental yield is 2%. That makes the monthly rent somewhere around 16,666. Let's round it off to 17k. So have a look here. If I buy the house, I have to pay 60,000 EMI per month for 20 years, and while renting it, I have to pay just 17,000 per month to stay in the same house. Now here comes the financial way to think about it. The difference of the EMI and the rent, which is 60,000 minus 17,000, is equal to 43,000. Let's say I invest that in an SIP and I had paid 20 lakhs as the down payment to purchase my house. Now since I'm staying on rent, I can invest that lump sum amount of 20 lakhs as well. Now let's assume I get a 12% per annum rate of return for both the SIP as well as the lump sum investment. So my investment corpus after 20 years becomes 3.9 crores. On the other hand, let's say if I had bought the house, let's assume the property prices increase by 8% per annum for 20 years. Now if I remove all the costs that I've incurred to buy this property, the net benefit that I get is 2.8 crores. So basically I almost get a crore more if I stay on rent. So basically I almost make an extra crore by staying on rent rather than by purchasing the property. I have also attached a calculator in the description below that will help you evaluate the decision of rent versus buy by inputting the relevant fields. Now I have borrowed this calculator from Mr. Ankur Wareku. He has also made a very interesting video on the same topic and I got really inspired by him to make this video. I'll link that as well in the description below. Now the above calculation which I showed you is based on the current interest rates, etc. all of that. If tomorrow, let's say, housing interest rates become much lower, then buying a house becomes lucrative. Or for the matter of fact, for any reason, if the rental yields go up from 2% to 5 or 6%, then again it makes a lot more sense to purchase the house. So use this calculator, input the fields according to your situation and take the decision accordingly. Well, I genuinely believe that it makes a lot of sense to stay on rent in the early stages of your career. Now, there are two arguments that support my belief. One is the functional benefit and the second one is the financial benefit of staying on rent. Functional benefits of staying on rent. Number one is high flexibility. Now, if I buy a house, more often than not, I will take all my decisions around that particular decision of me buying that house. The house will be in the center of all decision making. For example, if I'm trying to look for work opportunities, I'll try to look it in the same city of my house. If I'm trying to find a school for my kids, I'll try to find something which is very close to my house. Now guess what? If I'm staying on rent, my decisions are not bound by a physical asset which is illiquid. For example, if I want to stay a couple of years in a different city and explore the life over there, for example, I genuinely want to stay in Europe for a couple of years. Now if I'm staying on rent, it helps me do that. I'm not bound by any physical asset. The second point is the kisht or the EMI angle. Now, if I'm in the early stages of my career and I take a huge debt to purchase a house, I get addicted to the salary in my job. Why? Because kisht to bharni hai na agle mahine. So it has a huge impact on my risk-taking abilities. Now, if I want to start up something by myself, or if I want to take a sabbatical for a year and write a book, or if I want to switch to an alternate career field which does not pay really well in the initial years, I can't do that because now I am tied down by my decision of me purchasing the house because I have to pay the EMI in the next month. Now with rentals, what I can do is live below my means and try and put real efforts behind what I want to do in life. Third number is zero commitments. Now let's say I am 25 years old currently and if I only have the ability and affordability to purchase a 1 BHK. Now in a few years I may get married, I may have a few kids, I may have my parents staying with me. Now in this scenario I may need a much bigger house. So it's a nightmare selling your old house and buying a bigger house. I'm not even talking about the financial stress involved over here, I'm just talking about the hassle. Now if I'm staying on rent, I have zero commitments and I can very easily move to a much bigger house without a lot of hassle and financial stress. Point number 4 is standard of living. Now if I buy a house, vis-a-vis I stay on rent, I can stay in a much more lavish apartment if I stay on rent. Let me show you how. Let's say hypothetically I have an investment corpus of only 100 rupees and in that I can only afford to buy a 1 BHK. Now a 2 BHK is worth 200 rupees and a 3 BHK is worth 300 rupees. If I want to buy a 2 BHK or a 3 BHK, I cannot do that because I cannot afford it. I just have 100 rupees. Now we learned the concept of rental yield some time back, right? Let's assume the prevailing rental yield is 2%. So basically, if I want to rent out the same 1 BHK, I have to pay rupees 2 per year. Similarly, for the 2 BHK, I have a rent of rupees 4 per year and of the 3 BHK, rupees 6 per year. Now here comes the beauty. Let's say I don't buy the house and I invest my 100 rupees in the market to consistently get a 10% per annum returns. That is, I keep getting an interest income of rupees 10 per year. So guess what? Now I can afford to stay on rent in the 2 BHK or even in the 3 BHK by paying rupees 4 or rupees 6 per year and still save some money over and above that. Okay, so I understood that staying on rent makes a lot of financial sense. But does it mean that I should always stay on rent and never purchase a house? Let's look at the argument that when does it make sense to buy a house? There is zero doubt in my mind that buying a house is a good investment decision. It brings a lot of stability, it brings a sense of entitlement, it also brings a sense of achievement. But this decision should happen at the right stage in your life. So when I have the correct sense of direction of my career, I know which city I want to settle down in, I also understand my financial responsibilities better. So if this decision of buying a house comes around at the age of 35 to 40, then it's great. And hopefully I would have collected enough money to either purchase the property upfront without taking any loan, or would have collected enough money to pay a significant amount as down payment. It does not make sense to buy a house in the initial years of your career by taking a huge debt. Buying a house also forces you to be disciplined and forces you to save money. However, I truly believe that the habit of saving money and investing your money should be basic hygiene, and it should not be as a consequence of you purchasing a house. Staying on rent in our 20s and 30s gives us a lot of independence, gives us a lot of flexibility without getting bogged down with the burden of debt. So buying a house or staying on rent is a very important decision in our life, and hopefully you learned something new from this video and how to think about it in a much more informed way. Another important financial decision is whether you should invest your money in fixed deposits or not. Here is a video where I demystify fixed deposits and how you should think about it. Hopefully you learned something new in this video and had fun in the process. See you soon in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep smiling, and thanks a lot for watching.